Today I reap the ramifications of pouring from an empty cup, something my dad taught his daughters against. No wonder we can't stand each other. We ripped each other to the bone just so that we could drink. And not only did I pour from the empty cup, I drank from one as well. People were like on the comments, but and they don't even know what it's about. Today I reap the ramifications of pouring from an empty cup, something my dad taught his daughters against.
However, if you keep pouring goodness,
hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I missed y'all. I missed all of y'all. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you for joining with me, taking a trip with me today to court. So yes, my episode today is about my trip to court. I woke up, dropped off my son at school, came back, got dressed, drove to the smoothie bar to pick up my documents, and I also left my car there because there's parking, and then a court parking, Mthatha parking general. So I actually walked to court. It's literally a 4-minute walk. So obviously couldn't take the cameras. I say cameras, production teams. Obviously couldn't take the camera inside the courtroom, but siphelele pha ngaphandle. So didn't go to dress for every event. And the husband's as thin as sweet, so I think I'll go with this one. The last time I checked, Lingana, so this is my go-to dress for every event. I feel sick. Love, remind me again to look for your expiration date next time before I indulge. What was I thinking? Besides, I'm in a relationship with pain. What was I thinking with love? So I walk, I get to court, but Kuku's steps as a new guy, but before the staircase, there's like a long queue. So I decided, I'm going to queue because and ndiyifuna laa nto assume into yobana hayi mandime apha. Like kubana xa uye kwi-ATM and then people just stand in this one long queue kanti laa ATM iyasebenza. So I learned that the hard way, but don't just assume, go and ask. So nyhani ke I walk up the stairs ndihambe ndobuza ndithethe no-but secure ndithi kuye, hi bhuti, mna ndingu-Amandla Fadane, nantsi i-document yam ndizele. Before I finish my sentence, bhuti sisi yimom elayinini. So I'm like, hi bhuti, kaloku benzo. So I have a tail between my legs and I walk back down the stairs back to the end of the queue. The time is about 5 to 8. I stand for about another 5 minutes and I see, Uput Secure coming towards us now. Wehla is steps uzakuthi thina bantu sisequeuing. So I listen attentively and he takes out a clipboard and he reads out loud, domestic violence, domestic violence, domestic violence. And I'm thinking, hey, poor guys, like, But anyway, I quickly, walk up the stairs to sign in. And I think, I'm traumatized. I don't know. I've also had such a bad experience at some off topic, but it's relevant. In Dobana, I had been in a medical aid when I gave birth to my son. And obviously went to a local, government hospital. But I think I'm distressed and Fadane Amandla, Fadane. So it's kind of like a trigger for me because, obvious reasons, and I have such a story to tell. But anyway, secure, I sign in, but check temperature, COVID regulations, and then put, okay, but this is where I'm going. Where do I go? And he says, and then I follow these people. I get there, obviously, construction up, so it's kind of like confusing whether you go left or right. I think they're refurbishing the whole building. So ndingene ke kwezi prefabs and I sit on the bench. It's the broken bench. There was a broken bench on my right, and then there's a middle bench, and then mekole bench ilapha on my left. So I'm sitting because so I sit there and yay, bendina appointment go 8 up and go 8:30, okay. So I think, okay, let me not sit and wait again. And I go to one of his prefabs temporal offices. If you can controls and knocking, and no one answers. But I can't hear a thing because quick grinders, quick construction up around. So eventually I just decide to just open the door because it's not locked, but at the same time no one's answering. But I can also hear up. So ndingene, and then upon entering this prefab building, kube kumama othi kum, kudala ndisithi ngena. So I'm like, oh mama, I'm so sorry, I couldn't hear you. This is what I'm here about. And she tells me, okay, hlala up ulinde. And then I go back to the bench and and just sit and wait. So people are coming in, and well, I don't want to say in because siphandle and secret benches outside a small office. So there's this guy who comes and sits clear on my right hand side, which is la bench comes and he sits towards my right hand side. I think because of the nature of the fact that we are all here in the same place, we assume that our stories are kind of like similar, or so we kind of like develop a bond amongst we kind of develop a bond amongst each other, where someone's gonna say, why are you here? What happened to you? And then this lady, middle-aged, dark-skinned, beautiful, Mama says Lanin, omhle, on my left. This lady asked me, Ndobana, so because obviously she got here, I was already here. So and then she asked me something else. I don't remember what it was, but it had something to do with the magistrate and whatever. So and I answer her and I'm like, I don't know. And so she figures it out. Ndobana, oh, ungumangalelwa, you are the respondent. So yeah. That was a funny moment, but okay. Fast forward, We're still waiting in the queue. We have a conversation with this woman. I have a conversation with this guy, but obviously the psychologist in me is having conversations, everywhere. So I see this guy, like shaking, and he was holding a piece of paper. So this paper's shaking, so I hold his hand down. Dobana, are you okay? I only just want to listen to him because I know that I wanted someone to listen to me. I wanted someone, to hear my side of the story. I wanted someone to listen to me because even when I was served a restraining order, I didn't understand. So I needed someone to hear me out instead of, Sissy, you are not going to do this. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're not going to do, without hearing my side of the story. This lady comes and she stands in front of us and she says, "Ndicela enze babiza bandlandele. Fadane, ban, landelen." And then she just walks away. So we kind of like start back and we follow her. Siyahamba ke ngoku siya kwi-courtrooms. As we are walking towards the courtrooms, it's getting more intense and it's getting darker. The atmosphere, it's the fact that the building receives no light. Kumnyama. I don't know if it's dark because of, the nature of, all those cases, but it just became so dark. But as Siyamba down this long passage on my right hand side is all courtrooms and attorneys, and we walk towards this door right at the end in the magistrate. So we sit outside and kuthiwa sizawubizwa sibizwe nyani. So singene ke officeini, small office. To my surprise, sibizwe sibayi-2 uFadane and some other surname that I actually still remember, but I don't want to mention. Can't mention. Sibizwe sobabini. Magistrate banban uwayemna, magistrate banban uwayena. But it's so chaotic in the office because what she's saying, it's already in my head, and I'm thinking, oh my god, people are going through big things. Like, how do you even put people in office with such sensitive information? Ndiphume phaa ndifile into yobana hey ndazi iindaba zabantu, like big things, because I felt like it was such a private matter for people to land ears on. But anyway, this is the situation, and so I'm telling you this because whenever magistrate Lobendu Woyile says something to me, bendiphazamiseka because andimva yena but ndivala sisukhwazayo, but which is not the point at all. Anyway, so that's the situation. So utata ke ondincedisayo athi mandiphakame, and I stand up. He reads out this restraining order against me. So atsho ke uba, Miss Fadane, do you promise not to A, B, C, to speak of, English, to speak ill of? So I said to the magistrate, no, I don't promise. I've gone by so I'm sharing with magistrate, my journey is not going to change because Omyundu feels bad that they were part of my journey and they didn't do good to me. Developing childhood triggers all at the same time because my personality is so defensive. Like, everyone at home knows me, but tingena ku defense mode. So I even remember when I was a young girl, I think Landio Kulani siblings, I grew up with an older brother and an older sister. And umama xa Spanish sonke, for something that my sister did or something that my brother did. So ndikhule ndingilowana uthi hayi ayindim xa kuthiwa Amandla imarks zakho ziyadropha ze-science ufumene 48%, ndithi hayi ngo-48%, 49%. So I'm like, I'm like, no, I want you to understand the point. So I think phana yonke eza traumas zezandibotherisha because what happened was I wasn't given a chance to speak out, or I wasn't given a chance, for someone to hear me out, because the only thing that's a concern is, do you promise not to call? So I'm like, no, but, kukola but ubat wamakaviwa. Lando iti, do you promise not to call him? I'm like, but umdala, it's not me, it's his son that's calling. Like, but, and that, I died. I was so defeated, but that was what that was about. So then that katazeka ngokubendipha in front of the magistrate because I couldn't do that. because Nancy restraining order, I just have to answer yes or no. But I can't answer yes or no because if I can explain it, that was a difficult situation for me. I walked out with my head held high, and I bumped into my mom's old friend and I hugged him and I just started sobbing, crying in his arms. Court, and but I wiped my tears real quick and I told him, and it was a hectic day. I walked back to the smoothie bar. The helper, Sisbuli, was waiting for me with a big hug, and I drove to pick up my son and I gave him a big hug, like I am compensating for something that I know he's not gonna get, which is something that's so painful to me. But so yeah, that's that. So going to court today, for me, ingati kubethelelwe, the way that I feel right now, ingati kubethelelwe into bana the single parenting thing you're still gonna do for a very long time. So obviously, you are not happy with that, but you in the same breath you cry and sob, but the minute you're you have to wipe your tears immediately. You have to rebuke them, because you have to be the best you that you can be in front of this person, not to pretend, but to try and just be the best version of yourself. Just bring the best you that you can be, to him. I'm so glad I didn't cry on this channel, because I told myself, but YouTube family, I'm not really last time. And I'm so grateful for all the support, because when I put in the link for a trailer, people were like on the comments, but and they don't even know what it's about. It was so funny, but it was so comforting that I have your support, and I'm so grateful, and I love all of you. Thank you so much for watching. Please do join me on the next episode of Mama Kapozo Bozo. Please comment, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Mama Kapozo Bozo. I love you and stay blessed.